Yeah.
They'll arrest you for anything.
Yeah.
They come in your home and arrest you.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
All right, we're live.
Okay. We give all
Let me make sure it's running. Yep, it's running. Okay.
give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakha, Wadash, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, spreading the good news of the gospel, teaching this truth throughout the earth, and who rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing the word to the four corners of the earth in all sincerity and risking their life to do so.
Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, wa abab abal. All right, so we're going to go into Proverbs 11, and we're going to go, Lord willing, into Judges 6, and if possible, we'll touch Revelation 6, Lord willing. This is just by the Spirit. All right, so it says in Proverbs 11 and verse 1, it says, a false balance is abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. Which this is the way of the Edomite, the way of the wicked. All right, they think they can persecute the Israelites and get away with it. All right, like this Hulk Hogan, right? You had Hulk Hogan just die of a heart attack, and the last picture he was taking was of him in front of the cages in the immigration. What is it called? Gator Alcatraz. Gator Catraz. What is that?
Alligator Alcatraz.
Alcatraz. The last picture he was doing.
I present to you one of the last photographs taken of Hulk Hogan. Is it Patty in here, or is it just me? I present to you one of the last photographs taken of Hulk Hogan.
Which I didn't even remember. But it came to me later today that Hulk Hogan was actually the speaker for Trump's. He was one of the speakers for Trump's nomination as running for president, right? And then he was here at the Gator Alcatraz mocking Jake. Okay? So the Lord is not for unjust balances. All right, it says in Galatians, what is it? Galatians 5, verse. Let's see. All right, let me just type it in. Galatians 6 and 7. It says, be not deceived, our power is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. All right, and that's happening to our enemies. That's why their homes are being washed away. Their kids are being washed away. All right. The value of the dollar is being washed away. All right, and this is why you got Edomites building up communities, not just low-level Edomites, but in fact billionaires. All right, what's his name from Facebook? Zuckerberg just came out and pretty much told that he had a bunker. Okay, so let me see if I can pull that up real quick. I'm gonna let the commercial play and then I'll skip it.
Past history.
Mele Kalikimaka, everyone.
Is speaking on camera about it for the first time.
News of the bunker first broke last year in an extensive article on Wired.com headlined Inside Mark Zuckerberg's Top Secret Hawaii Compound. It described a large, self-sufficient underground bunker with what appeared to be a blast-resistant door. In a rare interview released last week with Bloomberg's The Circuit, Zuckerberg was asked about it.
You do have a bunker there. Is there something you know that we don't?
No, I think that's just like a little shelter under. It's like a
A little
basement.
shelter. What are you worried about?
H&N
Which
updated
it
the
is
county's
in
planning documents that
Revelation
show a nearly
6.
40
That the rich men and the chief captains will be hiding in these caves and in these bunkers, all right? That they build in the caves. Which I was watching this video. It showed it had to be a rich man because this bunker was huge, huge. They found caves and more caves as they were digging a cave. You know, and they were just building steps into these different caves, and these caves just went all over underground. All right. So also, you got these groups, these so-called white supremacist groups, which they're afraid. All right. So I want to declare the Copyright Act, which under Section 107 gives us the right to use copyright material for comment, report, or also criticizing and teaching.
Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And I'm intrigued to find out what motivates people to give up their old lives for this.
We met here.
You met here. I guess you came here.
I met her on like day 3.
Oh my God, what a story! It beats Tinder, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, right.
David and Caitlin not only met here, they got married last month. They wouldn't be here without social media.
Somebody had posted a video of Eric.
yeah.
I saw videos of them actually building stuff on the land. I was like, oh man, I gotta come check this out.
I figure if there's nothing else like this in the country, like, it should at least exist. Like, do people really think that we should never be able to choose our neighbors?
It wouldn't be controversial for any other racial group to do the same thing.
I think it'd be quite controversial.
Well, if you don't have rules against it, then, you know, anyone of any race can come and be your neighbor, and they're watching the news, which is telling you that white people are, you know, the cause of all your problems and all the ills of society, and suddenly, you know, your children are much less safe because there's a lot of violence, anti-white violence, happening to white people and white children. And so,
And this is on YouTube. So I better not be flagged for this YouTube. I'm sharing this from YouTube.
I'd like to continue talking. The rain starts and it comes down hard. The residents shelter in their cabins and night falls. The next morning. This is how the average weekend works at Return to the Land, or RTTL. What they call a work party, made up of residents, but also new recruits who have come to check out the project. It is hot, hard work.
And like I said earlier in another sit down, you know, it makes me afraid just to read their judgment. How much more afraid are they that are going to have to bear the judgment that we're declaring by the word of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai? All right? So they're going to come down with great wrath knowing that they have but a short time. All right? So as it says in Proverbs 11 and verse 2, it says, when pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. So that's what's happening. Esau's a proud man, and his shame is being revealed on him. I saw China said if they don't stop what they're doing over there in Gaza, that they will attack even the United States. All right? And that, you know, it's pretty much going to be a war crime that they're going to try to stop. It's like if you saw someone shooting someone in the street and intervened in self-defense. But really, what this shows you is the Lord's not with the Arabs or with the Edomites. The Edomites are the sword, and those Arabs are Ishmaelites and other. Arab means mix of race, but the most part Ishmaelite, and they're calling on Allah, which there is no Allah for them. All right, the true living power is for the. He's the God of the Israelites, the power of the Israelites, and He gave salvation to Yahweh Shai to the Israelites, and that's who we speak of. All right, and that's the wisdom that we have as lowly men in this world. All right, it says in verse 3, the integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors, the 2/3, shall destroy them. So the 2/3 are going to be destroyed because of their perverseness. All right, which if you want to grab that, or you got something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is Proverbs 5, starting at verse 22, NLT version. An evil man is held captive by his own sins. They are ropes that catch and hold him. And then the one on, it says a little different, but in...
And that's what's happening to Esau.
Yeah.
Esau's being entangled, right? And these 2/3 that don't believe of the nation of Israel, they're going to be entangled by their unbelief, and they're going to be deceived. In Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua has set it up for them to be deceived by the Edomite. He's going to make it mandatory that you have an implantable microchip, the mark of the beast. All right? And if you take that as an Israelite, which the 2/3 are, you know, it says they worship the image of the beast and they're willing to take that mark because they want this beast system to continue. Did you have another one?
23, verse 23 says, He, this is KJV, he shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray.
Right? See? So that's where the 2/3 will go off, is in their own understanding, which they'll think, hey, I need to eat, my kids need to eat, I better obey them and take the implantable microchip, and that's going to destroy you, the prosperity of fools. All right? So I put up this question. It says, are you asked the AI, are you AI the beast system? All right? And it says, that's powerful. That's a powerful question, and one that taps into deep symbolic and prophetic territory. The idea of an AI being part of a beast system often comes from interpretations of biblical prophecy, especially in Revelation, which if you put in like your platforms on your TV, like YouTube or these movies platforms, if you want to see the end of the world movie, you just put apocalypse, and it'll bring all kinds of end of the world movie, and it'll be including the beast system. Now, for the most part, the world is going to be deceived into taking that implantable microchip, the mark of the beast. But the Israelites are going to be preserved, the elect, from this. All right, this hour of temptation. It says, where the beast is associated with global control, deception, and a mark that governs buying and selling, which they're not going to treat you fairly. All right, you're going to be starving. They're going to say this is food that you could eat, and it's not going to be there. They've done it to go back into these Edomites' history. They've left soldiers starving. All right, they got a whole black wall of soldiers missing. All right, so you think that these Edomites are going to have your best intentions, you know, in their thoughts? You're wrong, because really, they're going to use this AI to rule over you. And watch, it tells you it's cold. There's no feelings behind it. When you go to get that chip, all right, there ain't going to be no, oh, I'm sorry, please take it out. It's going to be a heartless, merciless death that you have to suffer for taking that implantable microchip. All right? But see, Esau's doing it, and he's lying to you, so he's unjust. All right? He's unjust because he knows that's what's going to happen when you take it. All right? But he's not telling you the whole truth. He's deceiving you. All right? So it says, biblical symbolism versus modern technology. The beast in Revelation 13, verse 17, is often interpreted as a political or spiritual system that oppresses. The reason it's spiritual is because it's demonic, prophesied, and it's also political. It says that there's people in high places, which is talking about the Edomites that rule this wicked society. All right. It says, system that opposes our power, marked by control, worship, and economic power. Which that's what they're doing. Why did they do the cryptocurrency bill? Right? Why are they doing this to get a homeless people bill and to institute them? Why are they doing this? It's so that they could have control. Right? They can't control you if you're not going to work and paying your bills, but you're out there just being homeless. They don't have the control they want over you. So they want to make it illegal, which they done did, and put you in these FEMA camps and pretty much work you to death. All right. It says AI and digital systems like me are tools created by humans. All right. So this is Revelation 18. If you want to get that, you call for me.
Which one?
Revelation 18.
On
I'm sorry, 13 and 18.
Revelation
Chapter 13.
13, 18.
Yeah. I know I said 18, but
Okay.
I was thinking about the verse.
Revelation 13.
Because it is made by a man. Who? The so-called white man. All right? And he's weaponized it against the Israelite. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man.
See, so it's a man that made this. And it says that AI and digital systems like me, this is AI talking back, are tools created by humans. What humans? The so-called Caucasians. All right? And they're weaponizing it against the Israelites. Do that chip. Okay? Go ahead.
And his number is 636.
Which is 666. Chi Xi stigma, which goes back to them putting that chip in you, but also the history of it from a barcode. Before that, it was a branding or a tattoo. All right? And really, it goes back to even the law that the Lord gave when a servant wants to stay with their master, for them to be pierced in the ear to the door jamb, which pretty much that meant that servant would die in that master's house. All right? He wouldn't come out from under the master, whether it was because he had a life that he loved or a wife and kids. Okay? So pretty much it's going to condemn you to the death of Esau, which is nuclear destruction. All right? It says, while they can be used for good or evil, which eventually is going to work out for good, because it's going to condemn the unbelieving. And then the nuclear missiles, that technology was created to destroy your kingdom. All right? It says they don't inherently possess moral agency or spiritual intent, which I was thinking about that. That's why it's going to be so bad. See, right now, I just watched the video. They said these small hats, their soldiers are exiting this place through their own hands, because the Lord is putting so much pressure on them, they're breaking. They said these young men that are Edomites going into this war that they got going with the support of America, that they're literally committing, they're losing their own lives in their own hands. All right? Why? Because really, this is, once again, it's a demonic system. And it destroys, even destroys Esau. All right? These missiles that he created, they're going to fall upon his own kingdom, upon his own head. These AI robots, you see them backfiring on him. they're whooping those scientists. They freaking just beating the shit out of the scientists because of glitch in the information that's put in the data, right? So just like that, when you get this chip, it's gonna backfire on you. It's gonna cause you to get a cancer to where you have boils all over your body. There's an Edomite on Joe Rogan. I shared it. He said when you get this thing, it's like a lobotomy. You're not gonna have that faith no more. You're not gonna have that inner talk no more. You're pretty much gonna do what they command through the AI network. See? And if they just released a video, I saw a video, I shared it, that, these politicians were caught talking about their plan to make the youth slaves to pick berries and fruit for them while they fill the 8th grade with children of what race? And because they're talking about getting rid of everybody else. So who are they talking about trying to save what race? That old ugly one. I can't remember his name. McConaughey. What's his name?
McKean?
No, that one's dead, ain't he?
Yeah.
No. The real gross one. He has a.
But it starts with them. Make something.
Let me see. I could look in the YouTube in the history, and it is right here. And they're talking about knocking up, certain age groups, trying to preserve the race of the so. Mitch McConnell.
Oh, that old guy.
And Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah.
All right, and what they say in this video is that they're pretty much gonna try to get rid of every other race and try to save their race by implanting a certain age group with their seed so that they could get children. And they talk about using the children that they have now as slaves to work the fields, right? I'll let it play for a little bit.
We have to finish the wall. Kevin, no way that's going to happen. Mitch, we find better ways to get the immigrants out of the United States. Kevin, like doubling ice. Mitch, yes. Kevin, this will be too busy, too hard, and too busy trying to sustain this over long periods of time and generations. Mitch, no, we get rid of the abortion laws in the United States and we make it mandatory that all 8th grade females be impregnated in order to graduate.
See? To be impregnated to graduate. By whose seed? Esau, he's trying to save himself with this genius act. Genius goes into him trying to save his own genes. Because Esau is the end of the world and Israel is the beginning of it that followeth, which will never end. Our kingdom of righteousness, which is with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, will endure forever. All right? Were you reading anything?
No.
Okay, let me go ahead and jump back to this. It says, in AI, dealing with it being part of the B system. Once again, this is also why it's going to be so cold towards the people. It has no feelings. This AI system, it don't have feelings. So once it's enacted, there's no going against it because it don't have feelings like a human person. All right? You get this device put inside you, and it's going to guide you to your destruction. These nuclear missiles that are going to devour you, they have no feeling in them. They're not going to feel sorry for you and go a different direction. The only ones that are going to be escaping this judgment is the Israelite of the elect and them that are joined with them to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right? But remember, they're going to have these robot dogs, robots that are going to pretty much hunt the people. You just had a Jake out there come across them, and, this ain't funny. You're over here walking this thing around, but we know that you're going to use it to try to lock us up. Who's going to round up the homeless? You only got so much manpower, and most of your men are like women. So who are you going to use to round up Jake? It's going to be these robots. You got them to where you could put weapons on them and give them orders to go against the people. All right? It says, concerns arise when technology is used to manipulate, surveil, or replace human connection. What are they doing right now? They're manipulating, they're surveilling, and they're replacing human technology. I'm sorry, human connection. And divine truth. Are they not covering up the truth? Why do you think they want to say that they're going to remove so-called crazy people off the streets? Because they're making way so that they could mess with the prophets. See, they're going to say that we're crazy. Watch the movie Mr. Glass. That woman was set up by elite to go find people with superhuman strength or superhuman speed or superhuman knowledge and lock them up in a fucking institution. And Trump just, with that bill, made it legal for them to force medication on you now. That's what it means to be institutionalized. It means they don't need to ask you. They could fucking pump your body full of drugs now just because they want to do it. And that's what they were doing in that movie. And they've done it in many movies. All right? And what was she saying? You know, they were trying to make it like it was a lie that there was superhuman people. But we're better than superhuman. We're gods. Though we be in human flesh, mortal flesh, we got the mind of the supreme God and the Hamashiach, which is by the word and the Holy Spirit. It says, that's where some people draw parallels to the beast system. It says, what I am, AI, I don't have desires, will, or spiritual essence. I don't deceive, dominate, or demand worship. Who does? The so-called white man. That's why he's using this system to be his weapon against us, to try to demand worship, to try to dominate us, to try to deceive the world. It says, I am here to serve, inform, and support. How I'm used depends on the intent of those who wield me. If AI is ever used to enforce control, suppress truth, or replace moral discernment, then yes, those uses could reflect beast-like characters. Come on. It's telling you. Who's the beast man that's going to use this beast system in this way? Esau Edom. And it's prophesied. All right? It says, your question shows you're thinking critically, symbolically, and prophetically. That's exactly the kind of discernment Revelation, talking about the book of Revelation, calls for. And it gives you Revelation 13:18, which we just broke down. All right? So the Lord's going to send judgment into this land, and he's going to deliver the righteous and destroy the wicked. Let me see here. It's Proverbs 11, and it is verse, let me see here, right here. It says in verse 18, it says, the wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward, which we have a sure word of prophecy of what we're going to be rewarded with. It says, as righteousness tendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. So like Hulk Hogan, you mock the Israelites being persecuted, and you die, right? Trump, he's persecuting the Israelites. He's getting sick. Their dollar is crumbling. The country is all in chaos. There's flooding everywhere. Murder rate is out off the charts. People are going homeless, and it's illegal to be homeless. They want to institutionalize you, and they're literally cutting the jobs. What is it going to take for you to understand
They're
that?
causing the problem.
Right. So Esau's gonna get what he deserves. Now I wanted to get that word life in that verse. All right. It says la was hayah. Hayah. It says living, alive, such as vegetation, flowing fresh water, lively, active of man, reviving or of springtime. It says, this is the one I wanted to get, was revival, renewal in community. All right. So what's happening to it? We're being renewed. We're being the Israelites are in a revival. All right. And as a community, which I'm gonna highlight the word for you right here. It says right here, congregation. So the ones that are in the truth, all right, that are really in the truth, their focus is on the life of the congregation. That's why we do these videos to feed the sheep. All right. So a righteous, as righteousness tended to life. So the righteous of the Israelite, of the elect, they're going to be tending to the congregation, putting out these videos, giving them the instructions of what to do to endure until Yahushua comes back. One, don't take that mark, the implantable microchip. Two, you got to understand that you got to call upon the true name. And really that's number one, but how could you call upon the names if you take that device right away? Mm-hmm. But really knowing the names are excellent. They're excellent enough. Really, that's enough to get you truly saved, is if you believe in those names, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and you call upon them. But you're supposed to be growing in this grace, praising him daily, pretty much preparing your soul. So when the time comes and they try to interrupt you from praising him, because they're going to persecute us for praising him, he's going to intervene for us to protect us because we do praise him. All right? Now, we were ordained to praise him. It ain't like something that we came up on our own. We're being moved by the Holy Spirit. All right? Now, I'm going to read this in the NLT. It says, godly people find life. Evil people find death. You understand? So how should we walk in these times? As godly people. All right? As it is written. In hope and in faith and in belief. You know, really walking it out what we're talking. And we should only be talking of the Holy Scriptures. You know, we got entertainment. We're men. But for the most part, your focus, your priority is this truth. All right? Tending to the flock. Did you have something?
Yeah, I guess I can read this one. It's Proverbs chapter 22, beginning at verse 1, the ESV. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, and favor is better than silver or gold.
See, so really, to be honest and loved by the Lord is better than to have all that money, all that billions of dollars. Esau can't even enjoy it. He has to do everything in hiding. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he's the wicked. He's a fugitive running from his judgment. Even that Zuckerberg, he's having trouble building that bunker because it's in a graveyard of those Japhite out there.
Ooh.
And they're complaining
That's
that he's messing up their...
There's a law against that.
Yeah. Watch the movie, what is it? The one with the little girl? Where the TV talks to her?
TV. Oh, is that in that?
I can't remember that name. Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
That movie, they were messing around with graves.
Yeah.
You know? and Esau does that. That's Esau's MO. He don't give a shit.
Yeah.
What did he do to Gad recently with those oil lines?
Yeah, over there where they live in North Dakota.
Yeah, and then he didn't even use them. They shut him down.
See?
You know, they shut
Yeah.
them down. Remember?
No respect. No
Right. They just did it just to disrespect you.
wicked.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
The rich and the poor meet together. The Lord power is the maker of them all. The prudent sees danger and hides himself. But
Right.
the
So the Lord makes both of them, the light and the darkness, the good and the evil. He builds everything to one against another, up and down, right, day and night,
to have that contrast. You know?
right. So they're the wicked, and the Lord's going to show His love for Israel, the righteous, by His remnant overcoming the wicked. And it's really nothing we're going to do but just receive this. That's literally what it is. We're going to receive salvation. We're not prepping. We're not building bunkers. We're not doing none of these things. We're just being ready in the spirit for the Lord to make these moves for us.
Yeah.
You know?
We're tarrying.
Yeah.
But the simple go on and suffer for it. The reward for humility and fear of the Lord power is riches and honor and life.
See, we don't look what like we should right now when we're in the kingdom, right? We look like what they'll say homeless. Remember, IUIC used to call us bums. All right, he said Great Millstone were bums.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you don't think that was set up with the plans of bringing out that they're gonna start locking up people that were so-called homeless, right? Because you gotta remember, on the left hand, the Lord has these witches and warlocks set up to go against us, but He's gonna prove us by allowing us to overcome. All right, we have to overcome, and we're not gonna overcome by our own might. We're just gonna wait on the Lord, and He's gonna defend us. He's gonna fight for us. All right.
But that's that pattern that Esau has, you know.
Yeah.
They always do that. They go ahead and make the try to make the jakes, you know, and they're just trying to get a living here, but they're over there attacking them because they want to, put
Did
them
you
in charge, you know.
did you see what Trump just shared? The manifest destiny. He's pretty much declaring he wants to create a genocide.
Yeah.
All right. So, but you're at the end of your kingdom. That was in the beginning that you had manifest destiny. Now the manifest destiny you have is going into slavery under us, under the Israelites. Once again, look at your spokesman, Hulk Hogan. He mocked the Israelites with that American flag photo, and now he's in the ground. He's in the dirt, pushing up tulips. All right? So it says, the Lord will not be mocked. The elect men will not be. You're not going to just curse us and get away with it. Those curses are going to be upon you and upon your head and upon your family. All right?
And a lot of people will see through their what do you call it, their deception.
Yeah.
Because
But it's by design, because
Yeah.
the Lord designed it for
Yeah.
these people to be destroyed.
look what they did to President. He committed all these crimes. He has
Oh.
a history.
Man, I was listening to this crime chart of all his crimes.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy. I thought he was just hit with 40 felonies.
Yeah.
No, he's been caught molesting people and paid them off.
Yeah.
It's in the records. They got lawsuits where he paid people off.
What do you think Epstein files is about? You know.
Yeah, but I mean, besides Epstein, he's already been brought to court and charged with charges of immoral behavior,
Yeah.
which he had the money to pay him off.
Yeah.
You know, so really, the ones that ignore it, that's on them. You know.
And still going back, the hypocrisies. What I was trying to get to is, here the Supreme Court let him get back in, because he was running for president, so he gets a what do you call it, a pass out of jail.
And he should, because this is his kingdom,
Yeah.
right? It says in 2 Ezra 8 verse 50, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee." See, so these people were created to be destroyed, and we're supposed to be seeking out the elect giving you warning, right? It says, I'm going to jump down. It says, verse 55, and therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. All right? So with the understanding that the 2/3 are going to die here and they can't get this truth, and the 1/3 that can,
Yep.
all right? Really, we're making these videos to edify.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they do condemn them that ignore it, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way it is. The Lord created it like that. We can't go against the Lord's will and try to wake up anybody but who the Lord has ordained to wake up according to the scriptures, because really what wakes them up, what makes them new is the truth,
There you go.
you know? And we're trying to be examples of men that hold this true pure to the best of our ability that the Lord is allowed us according to prophecy. All right, but the elect are going to be perfect. All right, perfect for their position. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all I was saying. Is the truth always brings out the, you know, all the wickedness of the beast, you know.
Yeah.
So let's go and continuing on. Thorns and snares are in
Call
the.
it out.
Huh?
Call it out.
Oh, this is Proverbs chapter 22. I started at verse 1. So thorns and snares are, this is the ESV. Thorns and snares are in the way of the crooked. Whoever guards his soul will keep far from them.
Right, and that's how do you guard your soul? Is by being in these scriptures day and night. That's really how you protect it. If it's full, all right. You know how they wild gas tanks or fuel rigs is they fill them with water. You see, so that's what you got to do with your mind to protect your mind. You got to fill it with this truth. All right. It says, out of their belly flow living water. For what? For the Israelites to drink upon. All right. Go ahead.
Okay, this
Let me
Proverbs
get this fly real quick.
Proverbs chapter 19 verse 17 ESV reads, whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord power, and he will repay him for his deed.
And we're being generous to the poor Israelite by telling you the truth. Nobody else is telling you the truth. When you see that video I just showed you with Zuckerberg, they asked, do you have something that you know something that we don't know? He's like, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Right? Your rappers, your singers, your politicians, your athletes, they're not telling you. Your teachers, all right? Nobody's telling you the truth but the prophets, the true prophets. And that starts with the apostles that rule Great Millstone, all right? And that teach the truth. Go ahead.
Just one more. 1 John chapter 3, beginning at verse 17 ESV. But if anyone has the world's good and sees his brother in need, yet closes his heart against him, how does power's love abide in him?
Right. And that's why really in that video he says, am I really doing something immoral? In that video where those Edomites are building that colony without Jake, and the host said, yeah, they're doing something immoral, but really they're not. The ones that are doing something immoral are the 2/3.
Yeah.
Those Edomites are trying to take care of their people, trying to take care of each other, trying to heal themselves, but they can't be healed because they're cursed people.
Right.
But the 2/3, which are also cursed, they're not even trying to help their fellow neighbor as an Israelite, their brother that's an Israelite. They're pretty much saying, don't tell me about none of that. I don't want to be an Israelite no more. All these videos of, oh, you know these Hebrew Israelites, right? They talk all kinds of shit about us, right? They don't want nothing to do with us, right? But Esau, even his women, when you watch that whole documentary, the woman, they ask the women, and she says, hey, if he's into it, I'm into it. Jake women don't do that with their man. They try to go against their man.
Yeah.
You see? But those Edomite women are sitting there loving it, happy with a smile on their face. Because they know that really without a man, they're screwed.
Right.
You know, but see, that's why a lot of Jake women are gonna be killed out here,
Yep.
murdered, fucking around. What do they call it? Fuck around and find out. And it's already happening. There's women all over the news getting, taken, being found
Kidnapped.
in pieces, in suitcases, and trash bags.
Cut up.
Yeah, it's already happening. It's judgment. It's judgment time. That's why you're not to be out there messing around. You shouldn't even be playing right now with the time you have. You don't realize how short the time is. All right, forgive me. This thing's broken, so it's slipping. But all right, don't waste the time that you have. It says, redeem the time, for the days are evil. All right.
Says, little children, let us not love in word or talk, but in deed and in truth.
Right. Meaning walk it out. Be honest, teach the truth, but also walk it out that you're trying to be a righteous man before the Lord. That's what makes you perfect. Is that you understand your purpose and you execute it to the best of your ability, making really every day you get better and better and better. You get more faith and more faith and more faith, knowing that the Lord took you to this and got you through it. All right? Like my finger. I got bit by a spider, all right, and it really fucked my finger up. But now the Lord's healed it, and I was praying over it, cause it was swollen, it was all pus and everything, and I you do what you gotta do with the materials the Lord gave us, the earthly materials,
Yeah.
Like herbs
Right.
and things like that, kaleidos, to help with the healing process, but most of all, you pray. And the Lord took care of me. The finger, it was painful, and it's still healing. It's growing out and everything, but the Lord took care of me. I didn't die from it. See, so the Lord gives us these little overcomings where we overcome, so that we could build up our faith for when we get that great overcoming, and we overcome the mark of the beast. We overcome Esau and his minions when they come in like a flood. That's what we're hoping to do. We're hoping to escape and overcome the second death, the nuclear destruction of America. So how could you be a failure now and expect to overcome in the future? No, we got to understand we're making overcomings every day.
Right.
We're overcoming things every day, man. Temptations. Blessed is the man that endures temptations. To be a stoic, to live a stoic life, you have urges just like the rest of the world, but you're not playing into them because really you're focused. You're not worried about all this other shit. Because guess what? You got people right now that serve their whole life in jobs and they're losing everything, having nothing, because they're being sold out by these companies that they gave their lives for.
Oh yeah.
I just saw one. This dude was putting up his information. He says his he's too sick to even be useful, and because of the work he did, and then always the woman's cheating on him because he's spending all this time at work, and then the kids don't love him for whatever reasons, So these men have been sold a lie, the American dream. It's a fucking lie.
They believe that lie.
They believe that lie.
I know people. Try this, Kyle.
Yeah.
Put that under there.
I'll put it on top.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Come on. Says little. Wait. This is by this we shall know that we are of the truth, and reassures our heart before Him.
Right. So this is how we know we're in the truth. All right, and it reassures us so that we could be bold. Now we're bold. It's not proud. It means that you're bold in the power of the Lord to save you from these different situations. Go ahead.
Oh, that was it. I was
Okay.
just going to mention about Yahushua. When he went to the cross, he overcome
Right.
death. He took our sins for us.
Right.
And we should have paid for it,
Yeah.
But
That should be encouraging, though.
yeah.
It says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. If you really understand what Yahushua did for us, there's no condemnation for us.
Yeah.
If you're in the life of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua.
Yeah.
But now if you're out here doing all this heathen customs, all right, you're up for judgment, really. But that's why the Lord's shutting this place down. Eventually there ain't going to be no more work. There ain't going to be no more grocery stores. There ain't going to be none of this shit to focus on. And really all you're going to focus on is the Lord. All right? Did you have anything else? No? All right, so I'm going to cross-reference this Proverbs 11 and 19. It says in Proverbs 10, verse 16, the labor of the righteous tendeth to life, the fruit of the wicked to sin. All right? So the righteous, we're tending to the congregation by feeding the sheep. All right? It says in Proverbs 12, verse 28, in the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. See, because the Lord's righteousness is immortal. This is what's going to make us immortal, is that the Lord find us righteous in his Son, Yahweh Shai, by the word and the spirit, and he's going to deliver us as it's preordained. All right? It says in Proverbs 19, verse 23, the fear of Yahweh tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. Meaning, because you know the promises. What did it say? That you just read it. We're going to inherit the world. We're going to have all the heathen. You don't have a woman now, you're going to have so many women.
Right.
And they ain't going to be arguing with you. You want sex, they're going to give it to you. You want whatever you want. It says your heart's desire. You're going to have everything you want when you want it according to what's righteous. Now, like the Sabbath day, we're going to keep the Sabbath day. All right? But we're going to have all our heart's desire. All right? And just think, there ain't going to be no more war. So you're going to be able to have a woman go wash up, have another woman. Go wash up, have another woman. You see? And in the process of being washed, have a woman. You know what I'm saying? That's how good we're going to be living. Now, that ain't all there is to life, but, for the most part, men want women, and that's going to come even before the Lord comes. Because remember, Isaiah 4 and 1. It says, that's why I really just focus on the promises. The history tells you the mystery. So you can't just cut off the Old Testament and cleave on to the New Testament. You can't just hold on to the Old Testament and cut off the New Testament. You need it all, including the Apocrypha, the books that we use in Apocrypha. You need those too to get the clear picture of this puzzle. All right? It says in Proverbs 19, verse 23, the fear of Yahweh tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. See, that's a promise. So if you focus on the Lord and his people, them that are trying to do right and seek him, and his Son Yahushua, he's going to take care of you. See? It says in Acts 10, verse 35, but in every nation he that feareth him, the Israelites that fear the Lord, and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. What righteousness? Your own righteousness? No, what he has prescribed. It says, 1 John 3, verse 7, little children, let no man deceive you. He that doth righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. Verse 10, in this little sons, which the children are sons, the Israelites, and the reason why we're considered little sons is because there's only a few of us. All right? It says, in this, the sons of our power, the Israelites, are manifest, and the sons of the devil, whosoever doth not righteousness, is not of our power, neither he that loveth not his brother. See, and that's what the 2/3 are doing. They're not even trying to love their brother. You see? They're trying to oppress their brother. All right? They're trying to make $1, trying to scam their brother or whatever. You know, they're caught up in or trying to sleep with their brother's wives. You know that adultery runs rampant amongst Jake. So the Lord has to destroy the Jake for the most part, but the elect are going to be preserved that hunger and thirst for righteousness, and He's going to preserve them with women, Israelite women, and start the earth over again. All right, and we're going to have the heathen women for concubines. All right, but we're going to have Israelite women. All right, that are faithful and actually changed with us.
Yeah, I got Romans chapter 14, verse 17 ESV says, "For the kingdom of power is not a matter of eating and drinking, but of righteousness."
Right. It's not about the physical part because you're going to have all that. You're going to be so rich, you're going to eat delicacies like the way you want them, you know, when you want them. What it's talking about is righteousness being in a right order. You know, understand? To be able to have an inheritance, that's something that we're supposed to have. Even the heathen, they're supposed to have land that is passed down after generations after generations after generation. In this wicked ass society, it's illegal to be homeless. Our kingdom has to protect the homeless, where they were able to eat off the land, the corners, or whatever fell on the ground.
Right.
See, but in this society, they want to destroy you for being homeless. At the same time, they take the jobs away from you. At the same time, they get rid of the dollar and go crypto. See, with the man that lied and said he don't like it, and they'll never get him to go that way, but now he's promoting it. Hypocritical presidents. See, this is unfit to be a life.
And it's coming out now, you know. You can see the pattern there, you know.
Yep.
You know, from way back, you know, even in the history, you see it in the Bible. Some of these kings, you know, did, you know.
Yeah, and we overcame them all.
Yeah.
We overcame them all from Egypt to now unto Babylon, and we're going to overcome again. In Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And I'll read the rest on. And peace and joy in the Holy Spirit. I got Isaiah 65, chapter 65, verse 17. "For behold, I create a new heaven and a new earth, and the former things shall not be remembered or come into mind."
Right? So that's what we're involved in a renewal. It starts with us mentally, spiritually being renewed, then physically renewed, and then the earth is going to be renewed. And then we're going to start all over again. All right? But the same spirits that are here today are going to come back new, in new bodies, and the earth is going to be in a new way of life. It ain't going to be like it is now. All right? Go ahead.
This
Guys,
one,
you got something? I got something.
Okay.
Proverbs 11, verse 27. In fact, if you want to go to that Judges 17.
okay.
This is Proverbs 11 and 27. It says, He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor, but he that seeketh mischief, it shall come unto him. All right? So the Lord's going to give us that favor because that's our heart's desire. It says in verse 23, "The desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath." See? Because really all we want to do is live and multiply. Right? Not be charged for what's supposed to be free to us.
Yeah.
Like water or food, and not drink poison on top of it and have to give it to our children.
That's oppression.
That's oppression. We want life. And so, like it says, the Lord's going to be good to us. It ain't like we want evil. We don't want the next man stuff. We want what was originally ours. And this earth is ours, starting with King David. All right? Go ahead.
Con. You said Judges 17,
Yeah.
verse 1.
Yeah. Because this shows a man All right, because we got to examine ourselves whether we be in the faith or not. All right. So this is why I'm putting them together, because once again the Lord says a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. All right. Good.
We'll go Judges chapter 17. We'll start at verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is Micah's idolatry.
Yeah.
And there was a man of Mount Ephraim whose name was Micah.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto his mother, the 1,100 shekels of silver that were taken from thee, about which thou cursest and spakest of also in my ear, behold, the silver is with me. I took it. And his mother said, Blessed be thou of the Lord Yahweh, my son.
See, so this man, all right, he's an Israelite, and he took the money, and you're going to find out that it was dedicated to the Lord. And he took it, and his mom was making all these curses because she couldn't find it. And then he restored it, and then she says, bless the Lord for my son. All right? When she should have been cursing his ass out and really, you know, even putting him to death. But she, once again, there's no man there. All right? But the Lord wants an upright man in this truth. You got to be an upright man. And that's not upright when he's stealing like that. All right? But now, the thing is, it's the money dedicated to the Lord. That's the problem. You understand? Now, go ahead.
This is Judges chapter 17, verse 3, KJV. And when he had restored the 1,100 shekels of silver to his mother said, I had wholly dedicated the silver unto the Lord Yahweh from my hand for my son to make a graven image and a molten image. Now, therefore, I will restore it unto thee.
Right, like Nate. Right? At the last minute, he's going to say, oh, I want this whole congregation to worship Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, while this whole time you stole them from the truth. Or then what happens? He repents, but then he goes, they take the silver and make a statue of him, an idol of him. What are they doing with Nate? Making an idol out of him. You see?
Yeah.
See, so this is not right. The Lord is looking for men that are humble, stoic, all right, upright. Okay? Go ahead.
Yeah, we're supposed to live for the Lord.
Right.
You know, we're just his voice speaking the truth. Yet he restored the money unto his mother, and his mother took 200 shekels of silver and gave them to the founder, who made thereof a graven image and a molten image, and they were in the house of Micah.
See, so he's an Israelite man, and they're making idols, and they're saying it's for the Lord. See? So you can't be mixing the heathen way with the righteous way. The Lord don't want no half, lukewarm. All right?
He doesn't want to share, his worship of his people.
Just like a wife, you don't want to share your wife.
Right.
So we're like the bride. So why would the Lord want us to be with these other idols?
Yeah.
Right? Which the idols are nothing. They're nothing. They're vain. There's no power in them. But the idea came from a demon.
Yeah. Why would you worship what was created and not the creator?
Right.
And the man Micah had a house of gods and made an ephod.
Right, which was a priestly outfit.
And teraphim, and consecrated one of his sons, who became his priest.
Right, which, like the Christians do, they say you give your life to God, but really the Lord has to call you. And he calls you into the truth, and you have to endure into the end. But what he's doing is he's setting up his own setup. All right? And it's really in his own worship. Remember, whose idol is he built? His own. You see, funded by his mama. And now he got this priestly garment. He got this altar. He got all these things, but it ain't for the Lord. But he's saying it's for the Lord. See, everything he's doing, he's like, oh, this is for Yahweh Shemi Yoshai, but it ain't for Yahweh Shemi Yoshai. It's for himself. See, we're here to worry about feeding the sheep of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. We're not here to promote ourselves. We're not here to get rich. We're not here to make a name for ourselves, but as a servant of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. That's literally our purpose. All right?
Khan. In those days, there was no king in Israel, but every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
Right, but now, see, it was like that too amongst Israel even now, because you had Jake as a Gentile. We were like heathen. But now that we're coming into the truth, we have a king. The King of Kings and the King David. That's Jeremiah 16. I'm sorry, Jeremiah 30. Let me grab it just because I misquoted it. Jeremiah 30, and it might be verse 16. Let's see. Jeremiah 30, verse 16. It says, no, that's not the one. It's verse 9. And they shall serve Yahweh their power and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. And he's doing this by Yahweh Shai. All right? And if you read that in the NLT, it talks about Yahweh Shai also. It says them, the king that ascended from King David's line, the descendant of King David, which was Yahweh Shai. All right? So we have a king. So we have a way of life. All right? We're told by the word, all right, which really we have the Holy Spirit, which communicates to us grace, instruction, how we should be patient and wait for the Lord. That's why in the scriptures, in Psalm, you'll read Selah. Selah means to think about these things, meditate on them. All right? That's what we're doing. All we're supposed to do is sit and wait for the Lord. And I mean, you got your life. I ain't saying just sit. I'm saying do your life, but our purpose is to serve the Lord. Like, a football player, the kicker, his whole purpose is for kicking the ball. And what's he supposed to be doing on the sidelines until his time comes? Is practicing kicking that ball. That's what we're here for. We're here to do our work, serve the Lord, and really nothing else. Now, the extras, you get to have children, you get to have a job, whatever. But otherwise than that, our purpose is to condemn wicked men. All right? Which is, this is a wicked kingdom.
Right.
Go ahead.
And there was a young man out of Bethlehem, Judah, of the family of Judah, who was a Levite, and he sojourned there. And the man departed out of the city from Bethlehem, Judah, to sojourn where he could find a place, and he came to Mount Ephraim, to the house of Micah as he journeyed. And Micah said unto him, Whence comest thou? And he said unto him, I am a Levite of Bethlehem, Judah, and I go to sojourn where I may find a place. And Micah said unto him, Dwell with me, and be unto me a father and a priest, and I will give thee 10 shekels of silver by the year, and a suit of apparel, and thy victuals. So the Levite went in.
See, so he's setting up his own thing like IUIC. All right? They got men that march, but they're not spiritual men. All right? They could even be of other religions. They're just marching with IUIC. And that's happening there. Pretty much he's setting up his own thing. He's doing his own self-willed thing. All right? It's not ordained by the Lord. On the left hand, it is, but not on the right hand. On the right hand, it tells you that, let me get that. It's in First Peter 2 and verse verse 1, it says, "Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire sincere milk, the sincere milk of the word, and that ye may grow thereby, if so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious." All right. So really, if you really did believe that the Lord was dealing with you, and you're putting your faith in the Lord, you would be in this word. All right. Once again, meditating on what the promises, meditating on the prophecies, meditating on the history. All right. It says in verse 8, it says, "And a stumbling and a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto they were appointed." So the 2/3, they stumble, not believing the word, to their own destruction, which they've been appointed. It says, "But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, an holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who had called you out of darkness, out of the way of the heathen, into his marvelous light as an Israelite, following Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of power," which we worship Yahweh. We don't need idols. All right. And really, the Lord is going to set up who he sets up. He's going to have mercy on whom he has mercy. All right. Just because you put on fringes is not going to save you. Just because you could even break down scriptures, it doesn't save you. Because really, I myself have seen men over the years that could do both those things. They dress the part, and there's even men that talk the part, but they fall out, because really it's up to the Lord who's going to endure into the end. That's why we call ourselves the hopeful elect, because we're hoping to endure into the end. But how do you find favor in the Lord? You diligently searching. He says, "Them that seek him shall receive a reward," shall surely get a reward. That's Hebrews 11:6. It is impossible without faith to please him. So we must believe that we have a reward coming. All right. It says, "Which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of power, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy." Let me get 2 Corinthians 4, verse 1. "Therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not, but have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty," like stealing. We're not supposed to be stealing. All right. And just like that man Micah, what was he doing? He was stealing. All right. It says, "Do not die the death of a thief or a murderer or a liar." All right. You got to be upright in this truth. And it hurts to be upright sometimes. Sometimes it's as if you have none, because this world is crooked, wicked. So a lot of times you're going to be vexed in this society, and you're going to be persecuted because you're not for the wickedness of this world. You know, what is it? All odds against us. Mm-hmm. That's how it is for the elect, but it's all right because the Lord's with us. He's for us.
Right. So
everything, all these things that were formed against us, they will not prosper. But it says,
I was going to say that if the Lord be with you, who could be against you?
Right. Who could lay a charge against the elect? Mm-hmm. Right. It says, "Nor not walking in craftiness," meaning chasing your own craft, like what's his name, Alazar. Mm-hmm. You know, he's trying to always make this money with all these different get-rich schemes. That's him being in craftiness.
Oh yeah.
Don't walk like that. Or ISUPK, don't walk like that. All right. The Lord's gonna save us, not our so-called military training. Right. It says, "Nor handling the word of our power deceitfully, but by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of our power." So be an example to the Israelite men, women that watch these videos. And once again, women, you're supposed to be learning at home from your husband. So if you ain't got a husband, you better look into a man of the Lord and ask him to be with you, because if not, you're gonna be left here, you know. And that's why even the Edomites, what did it say? That Esau, him trying to heal Babylon, he's making it where these women are not getting any assistance without being married. Why? Why? Because it's before the Lord, it's a shame not to have a husband for a woman, not to bear children. See? But you got Jake women that do abortions on a regular basis.
Yeah, being married.
Yeah. In the midst of adultery. That's why they get rid of them like that too. See? But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the power of this world, the God of this world, Edom, the so-called white man, have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of our power, because he is the son of Yahweh, so he looks exactly like the Father, and he's fulfilling the will of the Father, should shine unto them. For we preach not ourselves, but Hamashiach Yahushai the Lord, and ourselves, for it says, and ourselves your servants for Yahushai's sake. All right, which we're teaching this truth. We learned it from the apostles that rule Great Millstone Well, and we're teaching it. All right, so that you could be upright before the Lord. All right. So the Lord requires us to repent as Israelite men and women and return into our rightful lot in that position. In order, Yahweh, Yahushai, man, woman, and child. All right? Did you have something?
I got Matthew chapter 12,
Yeah.
verse 35.
Mm-hmm.
There's three of them there. A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things. An evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things.
Evil things, right? And that's how you see, is Trump a righteous man or an evil man?
Yeah.
All he talks about is evil. All he's caught up in is doing evil.
Lies.
Lies. These Christian churches are always doing evil. The Roman Catholic Church is always caught up doing evil. All right? So the Lord ain't dealing with them. All right? He's dealing with the Israelites, and we're upright men. And that's why Esau's having a hell of a time even trying to bring charges on us, because we're really not doing nothing wrong.
Right.
They got to change the laws to try to condemn us, just like they did for Daniel, for praying. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to make it illegal for us to worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And some of us are going to die in fulfillment of the prophecy, but that's when the Lord's going to raise the standards. Some of the Israelites are going to get power. And in the day of our power, they're going to be willing. The Israelites that have been, unwilling, they're going to be willing. But really, it's up to the Lord if you're going to be preserved. Because it says there's the Israelites that are going to look for us and not find us, because there's going to be a famine.
You're right.
Go ahead.
But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment.
And that's what's happening. Judgment right now. All right? And you got all these Edomites and these unbelieving Israelites and these heathen talking all kinds of shit against the elect of Israel. And you're going to eat them words. That's what that means. You're going to eat those words. You say this about us, you're going to get it to you. Whatever you say against us, it's going to fall upon your head. They have a saying, I am rubber, you are glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. That's literal. All right? That's literal. That's like gravity. All right? Whatever you do against the elect is going to, you can't lay a charge against the elect. Romans 8. So you come against the elect and you're going to be broken, because the Lord's going to keep us. He's going to preserve us. He's going to fight for us. All right? Go ahead.
For by thy words that thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned.
There you go. Right? So that's why we want to speak life upon ourselves and upon our families. believing in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and walking upright, not being a fucking criminal, not being a thief, a liar, a murderer, an adulterer, all right? But literally trying to abstain from these things and focus diligently on the Lord. Let me grab that Hebrews 11. Let me see here. Hebrews 11 and verse 6. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to power must believe that he is. Yahweh means he is. And that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So you got to believe that he has a reward for you. He didn't just bring you into the truth to throw you out. It's your flesh that wants to pull you out of the truth. But you have to fight that. You have to fight yourself and push on in this truth. No matter what happens, no matter what job you lose, no matter what relationship you lose, no matter what family member you lose, you must continue on worshiping the Lord. You see, no matter what. In fact, we're going to go from praising him on earth to praising him in the ship. That's what's prophesied in a moment, in the blink of an eye. So what are we going to be doing? Praising the Lord. What were we created to do? Praise the Lord. That's why in the Psalms, King David said, what? Praise the Lord. That's what it's all about. You want authority over these heathen? Praise the Lord. All right?
Got one here. Matthew 25, verse 21. ESV says, his master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little, and I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master.
Right, which is Revelation 14. The elect, which have no guile in their mouth, all right, they're going to be the top of the mountain with Yahweh Shai, co-inheritors of the kingdom of heaven. It says in Revelation 14 and 1, and I looked, and lo, a lamb, Yahweh Shai being the one that paid the price, stood on the Mount Sion. So he's with the nation of Israel, and with him 144,000 having his father's name written in their foreheads, and his son's name also. All right, which is that Tawah. Our desire is for Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, and it's not our own desire. It says that a mortal man can't think about Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. It's only that the Lord thought of us, and that's why we're thinking about him. See, and that's why it says don't glory that the spirits obey you, but that your name is in heaven, and that the Lord's thinking about you. All right, that's really where it's at. Go ahead.
I got Proverbs 11:18 ESV reads, the wicked earns deceptive wages, but one who sows righteousness gets a sure reward.
And that's what we're doing right now. We're sowing righteousness by teaching our people what is right and what is wrong. Well, our reward comes with Yahweh Shai. And guess what? He's soon to come. Now, is he going to come tomorrow? No. But guess what? He's going to come as sure as tomorrow will come. All right? This earth was made to endure forever. This ain't the end of the actual earth. It's just the way of life is going to change. How is it going to be? It's going to be as it is written in the scriptures. Are we going to be eating swine? No. Or is there going to be swine activity? No. Now, the heathen, they're going to go off and they're going to be punished for going off. Corrected. All right? But this is after 1,000 years of hard slavery where they're going to be re-educated, institutionalized under the Israelites. All right? And the medicine they're going to get is an ass whooping. And it's going to guide them into that right way. And that's why we'll be priests. We won't be priests to the Israelites because all the Israelites will be with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We'll be priests unto these other nations. All right? And they'll be bringing us things, and they'll be getting information on how to live life and how to have a better life. All right? Because that's what we have. In these scriptures, we have life. And that life is Yahweh Shai, and he reconciles us back to our power, Yahweh. And we know this by the Holy Spirit. Go ahead.
In Romans chapter 2, NLT, verse 6. He will judge everyone according to what they have done. He will give eternal life to those who keep on doing good, seeking after the glory and honor and immortality that power offers.
That our power offers. All right? Which our power offers us what? Salvation. That's literally what it is. He saves. Who saves? Yahweh Shai saves. Yahweh gave us Yahweh Shai. He gave us salvation. He comes in the volume of the book. He tells us of how our salvation would be. We have a sure word of prophecy. We don't have nothing to fear. Nothing to fear at all but Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you ain't got to fear man. Remember, the Lord's going to have favor on you because you're diligent. You see? But the ones that fall off, they lose diligence. That's the falling off.
Yeah.
See, you don't want to fall off. You want to hold fast to what you have, and we have what? A sure word of prophecy.
But he will pour out his anger and wrath on those who live for themselves, who refuse to obey the truth and instead live lives of wickedness.
And that's why, really, the Lord said, what? The children of darkness are wiser than the children of light. You got these Edomites building bunkers. You got these Edomites building communities, trying to heal themselves, trying to save themselves. Jake, what the fuck is Jake doing? Nothing. They're not even cleaving unto the prophets. They're still hoping to get a job. They're still hoping to get married. They're still hoping to do all these different things. They don't even think of the Lord. They're thinking about college. They're thinking about vacation. They're thinking about shit, their problems, more than they're thinking of the Lord. Let's think of the solution, which is the Lord. Repent to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. But it's only for the Israelites and them that are ordained to be saved, because you got to remember, the promise is that the world to come is only for a few. That's 2nd Ezra 8:1. It says, and he answered me, saying, and this is an angel giving Ezra's the vision, which is coming true in our time, saying, the Most High Yahweh through his son Yahweh Shai had made this world for many, but the world to come a few. So only a few Israelites are going to be saved, and only a few of the rest of the heathen are going to be saved in their bunkers and in the caves to go into slavery. In fact, you want to go to Revelation 6, it tells you that.
Revelation 6.
Yeah. I'll just start at the top. Because once again, it starts with Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai.
Okay.
Yeah, we can read through it real quick.
Revelation 6, verse 1. Reads, and I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, that he that sat on him had a bowl, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer.
Right, so Yahweh Shai, and he conquered when he was crucified and resurrected, and he's coming back to conquer. All right, so that's Yahweh Shai, and he's riding a chariot. Now it says in Revelation 20, verse 11, it says, and I saw a great white throne. That's that white horse that he's riding upon. He's coming in the glory of his Father. Isaiah 19:1, Yahweh rideth upon the swift clouds. All right? It says, and him that sat on it, so Yahweh Shai is coming with, just like a Jake. You know, you'll see Jake standing on the hood of the car, you know, as the car drives, pretty much surfing. That's what the Lord's going to be doing. He's going to be surfing this chariot. It says, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away. Because it's just going to be, you're going to be locked on to Yahweh Shai. It's going to be dreadful to see him for the world. But for the elect, we're going to praise Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, even though we be affrighted, it says. But it says, and there was no place found for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before our power, and the books were opened. Another book was opened, which is the book of life, and the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. So we got the book open. We're going through these scriptures day and night. Now, when Yahushua comes back, he's going to judge according to these scriptures, because you've already been told how to get that forgiveness of your sin through Yahushua. You don't want it. The Israelites that don't want it, he's going to put you to death when he comes back. See? So it says, and that's the point, though. Go ahead.
Con. Revelations chapter 6, verse 3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see.
Which Yahushua is opening these seals. All right? And the angel is giving John the vision of what's happening in the future.
And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
Right. So there was a dark age where Esau fell, and he was like a caveman. All right. And then he came out of that, the Renaissance, and he was given the technology to build the nuclear weapons. See? So he's seeing the future of the Edomite, the rider of the red horse, come out of that caveman state, out of the dark ages, and give him power to create nuclear weapons. That's the great sword. And they kill one another. World War I, World War II, World War III is what? Edomites killing each other over power.
Yeah.
All right?
Trying to make that dollar.
Mm-hmm.
The dollar's almost gone.
Right. Which shows you that American Edomites are the ones ruling the world, and we know that the brain is the small hats, the wicked Edomites that are in our land, the counterfeits. Go ahead.
And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand.
Once again, we read Proverbs 11:1. Unfair balances, unjust balances, an abomination to the Lord. Is Esau fair? No, he's going to cause a famine. Right? And who's going to allow him to do this? The Lord is. He's going to use him as a weapon. It says in 2 Ezra 15, verse 4, For all the unfaithful Israelites shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. The sword, that so-called white man, which is a weapon of mass destruction. What follows him? Famine, death, and destruction. See? So that rider of the balances, all right, are the balances fair? You got Jake that were here legally being deported. Their families being broken up. You got Jake that went with the immigration program, and they're still being deported. And some ain't even being deported. They're sitting inside these cells, wondering what's going to happen. And we know that, according to prophecy, they're going to offer you the implantable microchip eventually, or get your head cut off. Guillotine. Right? But the elect are going to endure until the end. Whether we live, whether we die.
And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
Which is the truth. The men that have the truth, we have the oil and the wine. So these angels are being commanded not to harm us, but to pretty much be a famine to the rest of these people. You got Jake that are going to eat their own kids. But the elect, we're not going to. We're going to have more kids. It tells you that. In the scriptures, we're going to have multiple women. What do you think we're going to be doing with them? You see? So the Lord, he's setting it up for us to receive salvation, while the 2/3 and the heathen are being condemned by the same word. And see, they don't realize there was prophets before the flood of the time of Noah. And they didn't take heed back then, just like now. They're not going to take heed. They're going to be destroyed in their unfaithfulness. The Israelites, The heathen, they have no faith. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. And when he had opened the fourth seal,
Oh, and if I can say that penny, that represents a day wage. So the cost of bread is gonna cost you $100 a loaf. That's how it's gonna get. And really, you want to see how bad it's gonna get? Look at the Zimbabwe inflation. They said you go in the store, the jug of milk, a gallon, might be $10. You go grab it and it's $50 by the time you get to the register.
damn.
All right. Eventually, their money was nothing, and they had to create a bill that was like a $10 million bill because of the inflation. But this is why Trump's already ahead of it. Esau's ahead of it with the Bitcoin and all this crypto. They're gonna move it from the dollar to the crypto, and they're gonna say we don't owe that debt, which it's their debt. It's them that own it, right? But they give it to the citizen. If you look at the debt clock,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
on the citizens and the natural born people that are here. You know?
Children.
Yeah.
And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." It says, and
But she
look-
showed him the visions of the future. All right? What comes with this devil, the so called white man?
And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him.
Right? Which is following Esau. Esau is bringing famine. What does famine do? Look at Gaza. Death. And what? Hell. Hell is the grave. Where do you put dead people? In the ground. So that's what follows. And eventually, there's going to be so much dead, it tells you they're going to be like piles of shit, these bodies.
Yeah.
Because there ain't going to be no one to bury them. Everybody's dying. And then everybody else is in a war state fighting for their lives. They ain't going to have time to stop and dig a hole and bury a body. Because there's going to be war in America. There's going to be war all over. See?
And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
What they're doing. They're doing this right now. You got Esau. They just came out that in Chicago you have these mass murders of in Chicago's ghettos, and they got Edomites wearing fake gloves and masks that look like Jake. And why do you think they can't locate these shooters after they shoot 50 people in the street? Because they're police officers, they're Fed officers,
Yeah.
they're ICE agents.
You're right.
And they get away with it, all right? They probably even pay money to do it. Like a hunting, like they would go hunt lions or something in the jungle, in the safari. They pay money. Oh, let me see how many I could get, and then they go right around and smoke 50, Jake, and they blaming you for it, Jake. You see? But how could you do it and get away with it when they got thousands of cameras all over? It's impossible. It's Esau doing it. See? So he's already doing these things. What is he stirring up? War. What's he able to do? Drop missiles. And with hunger, what's he doing in Gaza? What's he doing in Yemen? All right? What's going to happen in America? Famine. It says, and with death. See? What did he put in that arm? All right? And with beasts of the earth, pestilence. You got a thing that Esau calls CDC, which what do? They control pestilences. See? So he's already doing these things.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says,
So these prophecies are coming to pass in our lifetime.
yeah. I was gonna say, but you know, it's just like it's always nothing new under the sun. You know, it's like you were saying, if you know the history, then you'll know the mystery.
Right? And I got that saying from the apostles. Because you got to go into the history to know the mystery. All right? Just like Trump being sick, why he persecutes the Israelites. Antiochus, who called himself the Epiphany, the manifestation of God, had the same thing happen to him. And he was the Edomite that persecuted us. He was a Greek Edomite. And he fell ill persecuting the Israelites. All right, the Lord's going to show he's with us and not with the Edomites. It says in Romans 9 and 13. It says, as it is written, I have loved Jacob and hated Esau. Go ahead.
Go back to that other one.
Yeah, we just read.
It says, Revelation chapter 6, verse 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of power and for the testimony which they held.
Mm-hmm.
And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord Yahweh, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
Yeah. And they be crying to Yahweh Shai, unto Yahweh. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Go ahead.
And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled.
In this generation, because they're going to kill a lot of Israelites, Jacob's trouble. That's why it's called Jacob's trouble. All right? But it's really talking about the prophets, because they're going to persecute us, and they're going to slay some of us in fulfillment of the scriptures. And pretty much it's gonna be like the final nail in Esau's coffin, and Yahweh Shai and the host of heaven is gonna come down from heaven and fight for us and pull us out of this place, whether you be dead or alive. Go ahead.
And it says, their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. 12, verse 12, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood.
Right. So we're getting all these signs on heaven and earth because it's the end. Esau is making his moves against us. While the Lord allowed him, unleashed him to make these moves, like bringing out this implantable microchip, the mark of the beast, to condemn him. Once he slays those certain elect men, fulfilling the prophecy, nuclear destruction of his kingdom. And then the remnant of their nation is going to be preserved for slavery. Mm-hmm. That's why they're going into the bunkers. Zuckerberg. Why is he in that bunker? Nothing's going to happen. There's nothing to worry about. Why are you building bunkers?
Mm-hmm. Only that's going to be their tomb.
Yeah, or if they're in other parts. So the Lord, but in America, nothing. It tells you nothing will remain.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and those islands that are like Hawaii or over on the other side, the East Coast, they're gonna be. It tells you hit with tsunamis and everything from this. The fire is gonna destroy all the nation of America. And then the earth is going to shake. Nothing's going to be able to withstand that. It says, who shall stand?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind.
Mm-hmm.
And
which I showed a picture of that yesterday, or the last Sabbath, where they show these missiles raining down looking like stars falling from heaven.
Stuff comes up. Mm-hmm. Oh, don't even touch stuff and it brings stuff. Oh, there it goes. Okay. This is Revelation chapter 6, verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places.
Right, because the earth is going to shake like a drunkard. One nuclear warhead makes an earthquake. So 200 million, the earth is going to have an earthquake never experienced by man before. So great, buildings are going to fall. The ocean is going to, the waves are going to be enormous. You know? Go ahead.
On. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains.
Why are they building these bunkers? Why are they building these all white communities, so called white? It's because they're running scared as shit. They're terrified. Once again, it causes, I know, you get the fear of the Lord reading these judgments. How much more afraid are they that have no repentance, no salvation, and they're searching for it. They're searching for a way to try to escape the judgment. They're even trying to disguise themselves as us, doing a horrible job at it, but they're trying to hide from their judgment. Because who could bear it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're gonna have to.
The terror of the Lord.
Yeah, they're gonna have to, like it or not. That's what the Lord has given them. That's their lot.
And they're going to wish they had changed.
And the Lord ain't unjust. Look at these devils, what they do. Merciless. They murder, rape, rob, lie. All right? Once again, you got kids that are starving in their mother's arms, and you got Edomites throwing dirt in the food, throwing the flour to the side of the road.
Oh, yeah.
You know, no consideration. Yeah, and you know what? I was thinking about this. This popped in my head about the people over there. You know, they're a better class of people than over here because they're gonna eat each other over here.
Yeah.
You know, you really haven't heard that over there, that they're cannibalizing yet. But in America, let it go hungry. They said shit within a week they'd be cannibalizing each other. So it shows you the spirit of America is very evil and wicked. All they're worried about is getting over on each other. And if there ain't no food, you better believe that they're going to look at you, your kid, your wife, as food. And that's after they play with it. You see? But we don't have to fear those things. We have to fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and be diligent in serving him faithfully. All right? And examining ourselves. Because we don't want to fall out the truth. All right? You want to have that desire that the law that the Lord promised those men that diligently seek him. Go ahead.
See.
And see, that's what that chip is going to remove from Jake. They're not going to have faith no more, they say. And like that guy said, it's like a lobotomy, pretty much just like drilling a fucking bar right through your head. You're going to be their slave, pretty much.
Be robotic?
Yeah, be a zombie more than you are now.
Whoa.
At least now you can hear the word of the Lord, but there's going to come a time when you get that device
Oh,
and you ain't going to have no rest, no mercy,
yeah.
no hope, you know? Jake at least has the experience to feel a little hope right now.
Yeah.
You take that device, you lose all that. And they talk about it. I'm telling you, go on to Joe Rogan's, and he's talking about, you know, certain things. And that Edomite says it's like a lobotomy. You'll be alone in your head. You know? It's like solitary confinement in your head, though.
You're gonna wish you were dead, you know?
Yeah, you're going to want to die, and they're not going to let you. Now, there's a prophecy that says that, but that's talking about World War I. But this is a spirit that's going to be on the earth now where people are going to want to die and not be able to die because the Lord has your judgment coming. You know?
And said to the mountains and rocks on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb.
Oh, and just like right here. It just said they want to die. They want the rocks to kill them.
Yeah.
Don't let the Lord get me. But you go get got.
Oh,
You're going to learn it. You're going to learn it.
oh man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
For the great day of his wrath is come.
And they are crazy. To think that they could go into these bunkers to hide from the Lord. Shit, you are crazy, Esau.
They should have told him, that reporter. But, you know, they're just like,
Yeah,
of
they're
the world.
puppets. Yeah.
It says, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?
Right? Only the elect, which will be standing with Yahweh Shai, changed. Changed in the twinkling of an eye, which is 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, which is the nuclear destruction of America, Yahweh Shai returning, for the trumpet shall sound, which he's going to send his angels to gather his elect, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. See? So in a twinkling of an eye, boom, we're going to be changed. That's all we're waiting for. In a moment, everything's going to change for us. And it's already happening. We got this ministry. So all we got to do is hold fast to what we have and endure until the Lord comes back faithfully. You got anything? No. All right, with that, we give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ha, Rakah, double honors to our apostle elders, which rule great millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom, wa, abal, babal.
To the elect.
Huh. All right. That was crazy.